Right then, this is a comparison of the electric buses in London. So before I start, I'm just going to say that this video is not in any particular order. Let's start off with the first electric bus I'm going to show you, which is the Volvo buses. And these electric buses have a gearbox. What the fuck is going on with these? Electric buses are not supposed to have gearboxes, but Volvo thought, let's add one anyway. So these have got a 2-speed gearbox. But Volvo used their stupid I-shift gearbox. Like Volvo just didn't have enough putting in their stupid truck gearbox into the B5LH hybrids. So they had to also infiltrate electric buses with stupid truck gearboxes with a single clutch. So it runs on gear 1, then the clutch has to disengage the gearbox. Switch to gear 2, the clutch re-engages. Now if you're some kind of petrol head who loves cars, you probably think nothing of that. But for buses, that is unacceptable. Buses stopped having these old-fashioned automated manual gearboxes back in like the 80s. Yeah, they've made a comeback. It is shit. But other than that detail, everything else about this bus is very nice. So let's start off by taking a look at the single-decker versions.
Cockfosters Station.
And now let's take a look at the double-deck version. Annoyingly, this has an obnoxious fan at the back, drowning out the motor noise, which is very annoying. That's enough Volvo buses. Let's now take a look at the Wrightbus electric buses. Or should I call it the JCB Digger bus? Because JCB have brought out Wrightbus. So take a look at double decks. There's 2 variants. The previous design, which is what I call the Wrightbus 3rd generation, and it looks the same, apart from on the back. They've covered up the bit where you stick your elbow in it to surf it. So it's no longer surfable. How dare they? But also, as well as that, there's also the updated JCB version, which looks like this. Let's start off by taking a ride on the double deck version in the daytime. Take a ride on a different variant at night time. now move on to Optare. And these buses have got epic motor sound. And now let's take a look at the BYD, Build Your Dreams. Such a weird name, that sounds so Chinese, that name. But this is a Chinese company who are actually the first of the Chinese companies to make it big in the UK. And they started off doing this, getting into a coalition with Alexander Dennis. So let's take a look at the coalition Alexander Dennis Envo 400 BYD. And let's now take a look at the single deck Alexander Dennis Envo 200 BYD.
Please hold on, the bus is about to move. Fifth Adams Street.
Here is the ditching Alexander Dennis BYD Integral Bus, exclusively 100% Chinese BYD. And yes, it really does look like something out of the 90s. So then, another type of electric bus running in London is the Irizar tram bus. Just to be a bit picky, I don't think it should call itself a tram bus, because if they've made it look like a tram, to be a tram bus, there should be a bit 50-50, half tram, half bus, but it's more like 10% tram, 90% bus. So that's not enough to call it a tram bus. And also, the term tram bus I think should refer to the tram buses they have over in Italy and France, which is actually the definition. Half tram, half bus. Rubber wheels running on tarmac, guide rail in the middle. Now that's a real tram bus, unlike the Irizars, which are more like a tram-themed bus.
Orpington Station. To Orpington Station. (358) to Orpington Station. Bus garage. (358) to Orpington Station. Farnborough Park.
Let's now go back in time and take a look at the prototypes. And some of these prototypes were weird and wacky. Just how I like it. These were very interesting. This is when TfL did the electric bus trials to try and work out which electric bus was best. So there's a selection of different buses here. So you've got the prototype BYDs running between Victoria and Waterloo.
Lambeth Palace.
And let's now take a look at the prototype BYD double deck. And these things were fucking fast. I've never known a bus to accelerate quite like this.
Sutherland Avenue. Elgin Avenue, Maidvale Station. To Wilsden 98 to Holborn. hold on, the bus is about to move. Elgin Avenue, Maidavale Station. Bus garage. Please hold on, the bus is about to move. Carlton Vale. Kilburn Park Road.
Then you also had the prototype Optare.
312 to South Croydon Bus Garage. Falconhurst Road.
And it was Wrightbus's dismal failure at attempting to do an electric bus, and this didn't run for very long at all. Wrightbus really failed at the prototypes, and I'm actually amazed that Wrightbus managed to make such a big comeback on their recent buses, because honestly it was not looking good for them back in the prototype days.
Westmoreland Terrace. Is about to move.
And there's also the Irizar prototype.
108 to Stratford International Station. Bow Church. Mountain Road.
And there's also the Yutong prototype, which didn't take off because none of the bus operators were willing to put their money into trusting a completely brand new, unheard of company. Bus they're actually doing test rides on, so let's go for a ride on this bus. Sadly, on this test ride, it doesn't actually go that fast. and let's now take a look at the prototype Enviro 200 BYD buses.